Hey, what's up, VC? It's Steve again, Harmless Rebel. It was time for just a quick update on stuff that I say quick update. It probably won't be. I never shut up, but I wanted to do an update on just some random stuff that I've run across, picked up lately. Obviously, the punk, metal, and country stuff I do on separate updates, as well as the thrift store finds. So this is actually all stuff that I found digging and actually bought, as opposed to picking it up for 77 cents at the thrift store. So. Let's jump into it. First off, in the background, we got Doolittle from the Pixies playing. This is only the third time that album's ever been played. I did a video on this a couple weeks ago. The guy at the local record store, I had mentioned that I'm a big Pixies fan. I'm looking for some first pressings. He mentioned in passing, or just kind of mentioned, he's got some unplayed promos in his personal collection. And I came back the next Saturday to pick something else up, and he surprised me with them. He said, "Listen, I'm never going to play them, so I'd rather them go to you. I know you love the band, and I know you're going to play them." So I picked up unplayed promos of Doolittle and Surfer Rosa. I mean, you can't beat that, you know. I got a pretty good deal for them, and they've both gotten 2 or 3 spins since I bought them. 2 of the most influential albums, I think. I would say most of the alternative bands for the last 20 years have been heavily influenced by this album and by Surfer Rosa, as well as by one of the next albums I'm going to show. And I actually would put both of these in the top 5 albums of the 80s, for me anyway. So another one of those albums that would be in the top 5 from the 80s I'm about to show here, and that's going to be Violator from Depeche Mode. I did like a triple take when I ran across this. This is an original pressing. I found this in an antique mall. As you can see, it's in pretty immaculate condition. You can see there's a little damage here. Very slight, though. Other than that, I mean, it's beautiful. The original insert there. And then, of course, the vinyl. I paid $8 for it. I saw it. I was afraid to take it up to the counter because I was afraid they're going to say, "Oh man, that's priced wrong," But I paid $8 for it. I mean, this is $35 all day. I was kind of disappointed when I found it. Not because I found it. I was completely stoked. Extremely happy I found it. The problem was about 3 days before I had bought the repress that just came out a couple weeks ago. So it looks like I'll be doing a video. Actually, and it's funny, this sounds better than the 180 gram repress. I've complained about new vinyl pretty regularly lately. I don't know what's going on. A lot of the new vinyl, I would say a good 60%, is pretty noisy. I'm just not real happy with the way a lot of it's being pressed. I've gotten some new vinyl that's supposedly remastered that sounds horrible. I will say I did hear the new Led Zeppelin remasters and was blown away by how good those sound. So if you haven't checked those out, I would definitely look into getting those. I'll probably buy them eventually. I have originals of all of those, all 1 through 3, but the represses really did blow me away with the bass. And I was hearing stuff that I've never heard before. And I actually have the Zeppelin box set with the last round of remasters that they did, and even having listened to this, countless times, every album, there's stuff on the new remasters that I've never heard before. So very cool, definitely worth checking out. And the fact that it comes, if you get the deluxe, it comes with the live albums. That's makes me want to do it even more. Again, with Depeche Mode, I also picked up this. I mean, this thing is mint. I don't know if you can see how nice, sharp corners. There's not a mark on it. It's got one of the best. The back there is pretty nice. But this is the single for Personal Jesus. The B-side is Dangerous. So I don't collect a lot of 12 inches. There's a couple metal bands that if I find 12 inches for, I'll pick them up. But Depeche Mode is definitely one of those bands. This is my fourth 12-inch maxi single. Next up, I picked up Purple Rain, Prince and the Revolution. I love this album. I love the movie. There's not a bad song on here. Again, just a seminal album, and one that you have to have in your collection. I mean, obviously, Purple Rain, I Would Die For You, When Doves Cry, Take Me With You, The Beautiful Ones, Darling Nikki. I mean, there's not a bad song on this album. Definitely worth having in any collection. I don't care what kind of music you're into. That's how good that one is. The next one. I bought this to fill a hole. Not just to fill a hole. It's a great album. El Dorado from ELO. This is probably my third favorite ELO album. I may have mentioned before, I've been trying to pick up their first few albums too. They're another band that I've recently gotten into their early catalog and really dig when I'm hearing. So, and I've just gotten a lot more into progressive rock lately. You know, somebody from the VC turned me on to Yes. I've always been a fan of Rush. So, and you know, and there's a bunch of songs from ELO that we're all familiar with. So, it was just a part of that natural progression, you know. This one is another great album. I bought this the same day that I bought Violator. Lou Reed Transformer. This is the original U.S. pressing. Of course, it's got Walk on the Wild Side. Beginning to end, this is just an amazing album. Everything about it. I love the artwork. I love the album art. It's got the Dynaflex in her sleeve, the original sleeve there. I don't know what they were thinking with these labels. I'll find something to get that off of there. That kind of upset me. There's another one in here with the same label on there that I just can't get off. But Lou Reed Transformer. And the funny thing is, I paid $12 for it, as you can see. You can buy their new repress for $15, but then again, as I mentioned, I just haven't had the best luck with represses lately. Like I said, the Zeppelin stuff is really good. The Black Sabbath represses are really nice too. But again, as I showed in my last metal video, I'd still rather have the original pressing from the 70s. So. The next one I picked up, same place. The Antique Mall, was Queen the Game, still in the original shrink with the hype sticker. This one, of course, has another one, Bites the Dust, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, Sail Away Sweet Sister, Save Me. Great album. I love Queen. I mean, let's be honest, Freddie Mercury, probably one of the best vocalists of all time. So another great one to have in the collection. Next up is ZZ Top Eliminator. I prefer 70s ZZ Top, but these are some of their biggest hits on here. I should say some of their most commercial hits. Give Me All Your Love and Sharp Dressed Man. Got Me Under Pressure, Bad Girl, Dirty Dogs. It's a great album. I paid $8 for it. It's in, other than the sticker, once again, that I can't get off. I'll get something. The inner sleeve is beautiful, not a mark on it. And the vinyl was the same way. It doesn't look like it was ever played. Now this, I'm trying to get a hold of, find out who this lady is. I'm hoping to bump into her while she's there. She pops into the Antique Mall every 2 weeks and puts in new vinyl, pulls out the stuff that doesn't sell. And it's amazing vinyl. There's some rare Elvis, Beatles. They're not in the best condition. However, all the stuff I picked up is immaculate, The ZZ Top, the Queen, the Lou Reed, Depeche Mode. There's some other stuff in there I'll show you that I got there as well. All just great albums, great prices, all of them. Apparently she has a very large collection that she's slowly getting rid of. And apparently it was her brother's collection. From what I understand, he passed away. And she's just trying to get rid of it through the Antique Mall. And like I said, I go in there every 2 weeks on payday and walk away with $50 or $60 worth of great albums. So I've made 2 trips there now. I'm going to try to start going on Saturdays because apparently that's when she shows up. I just kind of walk around a little bit and hope to bump into her. See if I can find a way to go and flip through her collection or her brother's collection, or see if we can work something out. Regardless, keep moving on. This is actually one I did pick up in a pawn shop or a thrift store. I was kind of blown away to see this actually, but Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Deja Vu. This is the Record Club of America edition. By far my favorite Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, or Crosby, Stills and Nash for that matter, album. The sleeve itself is in really good condition. There's your advertisement sleeve there. A couple micro scratches, real light scratches. It doesn't really affect the play though. Really good condition. I know every song on here word by word, or word for word, but I had never heard this album before. So it was definitely a treat. And this one will definitely get heavy rotation. I've already listened to it a couple of times. Actually, I have another Crosby, Stills Nash around somewhere too that I recently picked up. Next up, I had mentioned Yes earlier. This obviously their most commercial album. I think I paid $3.99 for it. 90125. This one's got Owner of a Lonely Heart. Our Song, City of Love. I mean, all of these, this is a huge commercial success. Of course, it's one that most hardcore Yes fans hate. I think it's a great album. I think Yes fans need to calm down. All of their albums are great, but, why can't this one, why can't you just enjoy this one too? It is what it is. Great album, though. Definitely had to have it in the collection. So the next three, first up, this is the UK pressing of Gonna Ball from the Stray Cats. This was definitely filling a void in my collection. I've had trouble finding this one. I love this album, though. Gonna Ball, Little Miss Prissy, Crying Shame, wasn't that good. Just an all-around great album. Picked this one up for, I want to say $10 or $12. I probably could have found it for cheaper. I just don't care. I love the Stray Cats. And speaking of the Stray Cats, I also picked up Joe Strummer's first two live albums. His first two solo albums. The Traffic Feels Like Justice. The Knife Feels Like Justice, sorry. This one's pretty good. He went a little more poppy with this one, kind of straight from the rockabilly a little bit. But there's still some great songs on here. And then next was Live Nude Guitars. $8.99. This one's still sealed. So I haven't even opened this one yet. But this one will get played pretty soon here. It's not going to stay sealed by any means. But like I said, I haven't listened to this one yet. I loved Brian Setzer. Oh man, I've been saying Joe Strummer the whole time. Brian Setzer. I love Brian Setzer. I've shown him in videos in the past. Big fan. This is probably my fifth and sixth Joe Strummer. Oh my God, Brian Setzer albums. I don't know why I've got Joe Strummer in my head. These next three I picked up at three different places. So when I think of my childhood, when I think of my father, and to this day, this is his favorite band, Bob Seger always pops to mind. Riding in the car with my dad as a kid, Joe Strummer, oh my God, what is going on with the Joe Strummer? Bob Seger was always playing in his car, and I'm always looking for, anytime I see Bob Seger in good condition, I buy it. So at the same store, or that same antique mall where I found the other stuff I pointed out, I also found this for $5. Bob Seger and Silver Bullet, Live Bullet. This is one of my favorite live albums. This was early too. I want to say this was his third album that he released as the Silver Bullet Band. But just a great double live. Just a great live album, period. This one's highly recommended. If you like Bob Seger, if you like Silver Bullet Band, if you like live stuff, great album. Again, Bob Seger, Silver Bullets. I also picked up Like a Rock. You can see Like a Rock, The Aftermath, American Storm, all huge hits for him. Also, Stranger in Town from Silver Bullet Band. Old Time Rock and Roll was probably the biggest song off of here, but Hollywood Nights was huge, Still the Same. Ain't Got No Money. Just a great album. All of these, the sleeve on this one's a little bit rough. You can see it starting to split right there. But it's still got the lyric booklet. Or is that what is that? Oh, okay, just a little picture book. Little picture booklet. It's got the lyrics on the sleeve, the custom sleeve. Just a great album. So 3 more for my Bob Seger collection. I probably got 10 Bob Seger albums. Always looking to expand. Let's see. Try to get through these. Oh, I knew there was one more. And then also The Distance from Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. So this one we got Boomtown Blues, Rock Me Away. Let's see. Is that the 2 biggest on there? Shame on the Moon is another big one too. So this one is 82. Yeah, 82. I thought this one was a little bit earlier. But again, good condition. Got the custom inner. Next up, going back to the 80s for these next few. Picked up the Bangles, Different Lights. I really dug the Bangles. I love their first 3 albums. I have their first album. I showed that one a couple of months ago. I'm into all the Paisley Underground bands, but the Bangles was definitely the one to hit it the biggest. Again, Different Light. This, of course, has Walk Like an Egyptian, Different Light, Walking Down Your Street, Manic Monday. By far their biggest commercial success. And I think I paid $2.99 or $3.99 for this one. I got this one for really cheap, and it's in really excellent shape. So, Different Light from the Bangles. Next up, keeping with the 80s, we got the Talking Heads, True Stories. I've always liked songs of the Talking Heads. I never really got into them though, and recently I've just been hearing a lot of Talking Heads and have been really blown away. I mean, I threw this in and I loved it beginning to end. It's just a great, great album. Here's the inner sleeve there. And you've got the True Stories. So this is the first Talking Heads album that I bought. I will definitely be looking to get the rest of their albums in short time. So don't be surprised if you see a lot more Talking Heads in future updates. And then we're down to 2 more. So this one, I don't know what told me to buy it. So this is Heathen Girls. I didn't know anything about this band. I just thought it looked like, I wasn't sure if it was going to be a synth band, or a punk band. But the name, just everything about it looked pretty cool. So I said, you know what the hell, I'll take a chance on it. It turns out this is a pretty rare record. It's 82 by Stark Naked Records. It was self-pressed. They recorded it themselves, had it pressed. It's a local Atlanta band, and apparently they were pretty big on the local punk scene. And apparently it's a pretty sought-after album. I looked on eBay and Discogs, and it goes for 30, 40, 50 bucks pretty regularly. So I'll give it a couple more listens. I wasn't a real big fan of it when I listened to it the first time. So if there's any of you out there that are familiar with the Heathen Girls or into them, there's actually some really cool pictures of Rose Whipper and a couple of other girls chilling with Bon Scott. Apparently this band opened for AC/DC when they played in, I think it was 78 or 79. They played here in Atlanta, or in the Atlanta area, and the Heathen Girls opened for them. So real cool pictures of her and a couple other girls hanging out with Bon Scott, chilling in bed drinking. I ran across it on the internet looking up the album. It's kind of funny though, because the early pictures of the Heathen Girls, it's all girls, but then when you look on the back, it's all guys except for Rose Whipper. So I don't know if as they got bigger they replaced everybody, but regardless, if it's an album you're looking for, shoot me a message. Maybe we can work something out. I may give it a couple more listens, see if I get into it. I'm really not a fan of it. They list it as punk. It's not really. It's more new wave, and it's okay. The new wave that I like, though, I like a lot, and I just kind of stick with that. I don't experiment or move out too much. I mean, it's just a little outside the new wave that I'm into. So, and then the last one I picked this one up maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Vapor Trails remixed from Rush. It is open. It's in the shrink though, with the original hype sticker. I think I paid $16.99 for it. It's in really good shape, but it was one of the rushes that's missing from my collection, so I definitely had to get that one. So that's pretty much it, guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll do another video on the next week or so. Take care, BC. Have a good one.